Hello guys, it's Miss Sam here for our virtual book club. Again, we are reading One Half from the East by Nadia Hashimi. One Half from the East. All right, let's check it out. Chapter 3. You'll be able to do what no other girl can do. She gets my attention with that one. You're lucky to have this chance. Girls would kill to take your place. This is what my mother tells me. She's been chewing her lip for the past 3 weeks, thinking about my aunt's suggestion to make me into a boy. She seems to have woken this morning with her mind made up. She knows I'm nervous, and I can tell she is too. I don't know how people will react to me. I'm not even sure how I'll react to them. It won't be forever. Maybe that's where the problem is. My mother wields a pair of scissors, blades that usually nip pieces of string or folds of paper or stems of mint. Nothing as important as this. She looks unsure. So am I. For 10 years, I've been a girl. That's a pretty long time. I like being a girl. I like doing girl things. My mother tells me that as the baby, I danced before I walked. I would crawl up to a table, pull myself to stand, and sway side to side to the rhythm of the music on my father's radio. I love when the song starts slow and then moves into a tambula drum, rumbles, fingers beating against an animal skin, stretched taut, and then the song goes wild. It's fast and exciting, and I can't help but to bounce to it. By the time I was 4, I had memorized a few dances from some Indian movies. I put on my fullest skirt and sneak one of my mother's headscarves from her dresser. My favorite was the purple and gold one my sisters had outgrown. With the ends of the scarf and my outstretched fingertips, I would pivot on one foot, my right shoulder dipping in and flaring back around, in and back, in and back. Neela, Mina, and Aaliyah love to watch me dance, though they can't keep me from telling me that I'm doing it wrong. Don't forget your eyes, my sister would chide. The eyes are so important. They tell the story of the song. Mina heard an Indian movie star say once in an interview, I would keep mine wide, my eyeballs rolling from corner to corner, lips curled in a coy smile. I learned how to flip my head just right so all my hair would fall to the side. I couldn't mess up a single move, or my sisters would call me out on it if I did. My wrists would twirl together in a wide arc over my head. I loved my sisters when they would clap for me. When I was around 6 years old and Aaliyah was 8, she decided we should recreate a duo dance. One where a man and a woman flirt with each other. The woman in the movie pretends not to be interested, but the guy chases after her because he loves her so much. I was given the part of the guy because Neela and Mina thought I'd be better at it. It wasn't as much fun at first. I missed making my skirt blow out as I twirled, looking like a spinning top, but I could do it. Shoulders back, hips forward, head cocked to the side. Aaliyah's steps were delicate and graceful like the song of a flute. Mine were heavy and bold like fist thumping on a drum. Leaning in, I would take playful steps toward my sister, grabbing the end of her headscarf just as the actor did in the movie. Hand over hand, I pull her closer to me in a tug of war that no woman ever won. I was the victor, the conqueror, the man. But that was pretend. And what my mother is talking about now is very different. She's talking about a real change, not something I'll stop doing at the end of a song. You won't have to worry about tying your hair back. Remember last Friday when you wanted to hang upside down from a branch of an old poplar tree at the park? How long have you been asking me to let you run with the boys when they chased each other through the streets? How many times have you asked to ride your cousin's bicycle? Today is the day. I will tell you yes, 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 and yes. My mother is good. If she were one of those kids who sold sticks of stale gum on the street, all the foreigners would buy from her. My sisters follow as my mother leads me to the patio behind our 4-room house. It's a simple house with nothing on the walls but a prayer and calligraphy and a picture of our family. Our home is surrounded by a courtyard, which sounds fancy, but it just means there's an open space. There's a pear tree in the front and a dried out Arcadia tree in the back, where our laundry hangs on the clothesline. The courtyard is closed in with clay walls that goes all the way around, making our house a box inside of a box. There's a gate in the wall that opens into the street where all anyone can see is walls, because all homes are made the way ours is. That's what gives us all privacy and keeps neighbors from seeing into our home and us from seeing into theirs. Sit on this, she says, pointing to a wooden crate. Why don't you do this for them too? I ask questions my sisters won't ask. That might be my thing. I've been wondering if I have a thing. It's easier to spot other people's things than it is to pick out your own. You're only 10 years old. They're too old for this. A boy can't have breasts. I think about this because my sisters are older. Their bodies are made of curves and circles. Mine is different. My shoulders and hips are like as square as a piece of paper. Neela's definitely got breasts, but Mina's got nothing more than 2 small lumps that you can't see because she's wearing one of Neela's dresses. One she hasn't quite grown into yet. Aaliyah is too pretty to be a boy. I don't even argue with my mother about her. I'm raw clay and they're pottery. Then why didn't you do it before Neela was my age 6 years ago? We were in Kabul. Your father was working, and we were just different then. I know Kabul was different. In Kabul, every family sent their girls to school. In the village, there are 2 kinds of families. There are the ones that send their daughters to school, and then there are the ones that don't. Some families think daughters are born to be wives and mothers and don't need to bother with books or writing. I feel bad for those girls because they don't get to do all of the things schoolgirls do. They can count only how many cups of rice to soak. I can tell the letter cough from the letter golf. Other families are more like ours and think girls should be able to write their names, read books, and multiply. They still think girls will grow up to be married. But like my mom always says, a smart girl will be a smarter mother. I remember that Kayla Aziza said about this making me a boy, making father better. She doesn't seem to like the most reliable authority, but if there's even one chance she's right, I should do it. I owe you, Padarjan, that much. How long will it take for my hair to grow back? My mother doesn't answer. Mother, are you sure this is a good idea? Oh, Beta, why wouldn't I be sure? She's got a hand on her hip, but she answers my question with the question, which is a sure sign that she doesn't know what the answer is. I wish she would just say that. My hair falls just past my shoulder blades now. My mother is stroking it, trying to even it out, bracing herself as she prepares to make the first cut. She takes her time. I wonder if she's changing her mind. I like my long hair. I like having my mother brush it out and braid it, one thick, brave plait. When I turn my head, it swings like a horsetail. I like my dresses. I don't tell my sisters, but I like that they've worn them before me because it means I know what I will look like even before I put them on. Aaliyah and I are close enough that we share some of our clothes. That won't happen anymore. Aaliyah can't wear pants. My mother cuts. The scissors are dull and my hair is thick. It pulls up a noble fight. You see how easy this is? Now I just need to make it even. My mother manages to get rid of the length, but she doesn't quite know how to make it look like a boy's head. She just keeps cutting from the ends until I have a shaggy cap of hair. I still look like a girl. My mother takes a step back to judge her work. She looks like she might cry. Mina steps in and takes the scissors from my mother's hands. Snip, snip, clumps of hair fall at my feet. Some people can look at something and know how to make it better. That's Mina's thing. When Mina is done, I stand and check out my reflection in the window that looks into our kitchen. My ears are much bigger than I ever realized. I turn my head to the side. There's no horsetail swing. My purple hair clips. There are no knots for my mother to gently brush out. Oh, I can't use anything I used to use at all. My hands are on my head, pulling at nothing. What has she done to me? Mina, take her inside so she can change into the shirt and pants. I'm going to clean up here. My mother grabs a short broom and starts to sweep up the hair in the courtyard. I don't need Mina's help. I can dress myself. The words come out with more spunk than I mean them to. I wonder if something's happening to me already. I go inside and find the blue plastic bag. Inside are a pair of navy blue cargo pants with 4 pockets, which are for more than just I'm used to having, and a gray button-down shirt with a wolf patch sewn into the left arm just below my shoulder. The wolf looks fierce. His mouth is open just enough to reveal 2 dramatic fangs. I try to copy his snarl. I put the pants on and feel like I've stepped into another world. Mina comes into the room and stares at my backside. I can see your whole body, she whispers. I'm covered from head to toe, but not with the shapeless shift of a dress. These clothes outline my form so clearly that Mina could, but doesn't, measure the distance from my shoulder to my hip or from my collarbone to my knee. I look over my shoulder, twisting my neck as far as it'll go. I want to see behind me. I want to know what it will look like in pants. It's hard not to feel naked, aside from when I'm taking a bath or the day I was born. This is as naked as I've ever been. Why are you watching me, Mina? Girls shouldn't be watching boys. It's not something I actually mean. The words and the boldness are things I need to try on, like the cargo pants. Oh, that's great. Now we have to deal with your attitude too. Don't think I'm going to treat you any differently. You're still Obeda to me. Today and tomorrow and all the days after that. I step in front of her, close enough that she can see the flyaway hair she missed cutting. What do you really think? Do I look like a boy? Am I going to be able to do all the things Madar talked about? Mina shrugs. Why not? You look like you're one of the boys now. I run my hands over my head. There's nothing to braid, brush, or tangle. I'm not sure how I feel about this. But how will I know for sure that I can do all those things? Mina thinks for a second, tapping her finger on her lips. Think of the things that only a boy can do, and then go do them. If everything goes well, then you'll know for sure. She might be right. In a stroke of brilliance, I come up with a plan to test this out. I don't have a brother, but I've seen how boys pee. I saw a little boy in the market once standing by the edge of a ditch. His mother was trying to fan out her skirt and cover him from view, but I could still see. He couldn't have been more than 5 or 6 years old, so it was okay for me to steal a curious look. I saw him lean his shoulders back and thrush his hips forward, and a yellow stream made a high arc before landing in the ditch. I had a plastic gun once, a little orange squirter that I filled with water. If I squeezed it just right, I managed to hit my sister right in the ear. So I think my aim must be pretty good. I walk into our outhouse, which is a small shack behind our home. If I can do this, I know I can be a boy. Our outhouse is like any other house. It's just enough room for one person to stand. There's a hole in the middle with one brick on either side. Usually I crouch down with the foot on each brick, and my pee can't help but go into the hole right under me. Easy enough. I stand with my back to the door. There's just enough light filtering in through the small window on the wall to my right. I pull my new pants down and thrush my hips forward, out, the way the little boy did. I try to pee down and see if this is going to work. Since it's hard to see anything, I point my hips a little further out. I hope I don't overshoot my hole. My aim with the orange squirter was pretty good, but this is a little different. I will do this. If I have to be a bacha posh, I will be the best bacha posh there ever was. My mother will think she's had a son all along. I let go and a hot stream runs down my leg, soils my new 4-pocketed cargo pants, and puddles in my sandals. That sounds horrible. All right, that's it for today. We will be back with chapter 4.